are gathered here in a house built by enslaved people. We are footsteps away from where President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. We have come far, and we have far to go, but today is a day of celebration.
We can't rest till the promise of equality is fulfilled for every one of us in every corner of this nation. That, to me, is the meaning of Juneteenth. That's what it's about.
With a brush of the pen,
Thank you, man.
President Biden officially makes Juneteenth a national holiday. The move coming after the Senate unexpectedly voted unanimously in favor late Tuesday, the House approving the bill yesterday. But tonight, the president making it clear there's a lot of work ahead, including addressing what he called a right to vote that is under attack. The major decision by the Supreme Court tonight to preserve Obamacare and protect health care for millions of Americans, and the unanimous opinion by the Supreme Court on the rights of religious organizations. Dr. Fauci weighing in tonight on the potential for a possible COVID pill. Could people who are already vaccinated use it as well? And who might benefit most? One of the first tropical systems of the year takes aim tonight at the Gulf Coast. Some areas could receive up to a foot of rain this weekend. Our Rob Marciano tracking that, along with the extreme heat. The drought taking its toll on water so many Americans rely on. Can we reverse the trend and save this parched lake? Our Ginger Z is there.
See the gorgeous discoloration on the side of the rock? The different layers tell you a story about time and about how much water has been here at different points.
And this Juneteenth, reclaiming the roots of America's famed cuisine.
I'm getting down on these oxtails. They are amazing.
That's not pretty eating, that's good eating.
Well, good evening. I'm Trevor Alt in for Lindsay Davis. Thank you for streaming with us. Today, the Supreme Court with a major decision impacting millions of Americans upholding the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, for the third time. The ruling from the High Court bringing a sigh of relief for the 31 million Americans who get their health coverage through the law, and to some 54 million Americans with pre-existing conditions whose coverage has been protected by the law's provisions. The 7-2 decision crossed ideological lines on the court, and it's a major victory for the Biden administration and Democrats who have worked to protect this law for the past decade from repeated conservative challenges. And the court also announced a unanimous decision in a major case involving LGBTQ rights. We'll have more on that in a moment, but we start tonight with ABC News senior national correspondent Terry Moran and that high-stakes decision on Obamacare.
For the third and likely final time, the Supreme Court upheld the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, but this time it was a court packed with conservatives that did it. By a vote of 7-2, the justices ruling that the plaintiffs, who had objected to the individual mandate that most Americans must have insurance, had not suffered any injury that would give them standing to sue, because there is no longer any penalty for not having insurance. The liberals on the court joined by 4 conservative justices, including Chief Justice John Roberts and Trump appointees Justices Brett Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett, declaring, "They have failed to show that they have standing to attack as unconstitutional the Act's minimum essential coverage provision." Justice Samuel Alito, clearly frustrated by another failure to overturn the ACA, almost sneering in dissent. Fans of judicial inventiveness will applaud once again. 31 million people are insured under the ACA. That's an all-time high. And 54 million with pre-existing conditions have come to rely on its protections. Among them, Christine Callahan of Cleveland, a small business owner, a Republican, and mom of 2, including 13-year-old Andrew, who has a genetic condition.
Just a relief that we will never hit a point where we can't insure him. Out-of-pocket cost of his seizure meds is over $3,000 a month.
The ACA, Barack Obama's signature achievement. Joe Biden at his side, celebrating with a bit of profanity caught on a hot mic. Today, now President Biden celebrating in the same vein, tweeting, "It remains as ever a BFD, and it's here to stay." Republicans fought for more than a decade to kill the ACA.
That begins with immediately repealing and replacing the disaster known as Obamacare. And it's going to be so easy.
Turned out it wasn't. The court blocked them. They failed in Congress, too, and Americans grew to like it, polls show. So now it seems to have fallen off their radar.
The Affordable Care Act gets constantly woven deeper and deeper into the system. It's eventually going to be pretty hard to unravel from the system.
Our thanks to Terry Moran. And there was another major case decided today, a closely watched high-stakes clash over religious liberty and LGBTQ rights. The case involves screening of foster care parents in the city of Philadelphia and whether a Catholic social services agency can be denied a contract because of its refusal to work with same-sex couples. Here's ABC's senior Washington reporter Devin Dwyer with the unanimous decision.
The first test on LGBT rights for the Supreme Court's 6-3 conservative majority ended in unanimous agreement. The justices siding with the Catholic Social Services Agency in its contract dispute with the city of Philadelphia over same-sex foster parents.
To the city, it's pretty straightforward. You've entered into a contract that says very explicitly that you are to serve all and any, and that's neutrally applied to all providers.
In 2018, the city canceled its contract with Catholic Social Services in a bid to root out discrimination against gay and lesbian couples in foster care.
There had been no complaints against Catholic Social Services.
The agency refused to certify LGBT people as foster parents as a matter of faith, accusing the city of targeting its beliefs in violation of the First Amendment. Lower federal courts sided with the city, but today all 9 justices of the U.S. Supreme Court voted to reverse course.
The important thing all along has been that Catholic Social Services is able to continue serving kids like it's done for 200 years, and this unanimous Supreme Court decision lets them do that.
Chief Justice John Roberts taking narrow aim at fine print in the city's policy, which allows exemptions to the anti-discrimination rules, writing, "The city has burdened the religious exercise of Catholic social services through policies that do not meet the requirement of being neutral and generally applicable." But Roberts making clear the city's interest in fighting discrimination is a weighty one. For our society has come to the recognition that gay persons and gay couples, he says, cannot be treated as social outcasts or as inferior in dignity and worth.
The court says that non-discrimination laws can and will continue to apply to all, including religious institutions. But if you do apply these laws, you have to make sure you apply them in a neutral and generally applicable way.
The stakes for foster care have been significant. There are currently 4,100 kids in Philadelphia's resource homes, including about 360 children in group facilities awaiting placement with a family. Studies show a disproportionate number are LGBTQ.
We don't call them foster kids. They're our kids. As soon as they come to our home, they're kids. They're our kids.
Shannon and Paige Davis, who've been foster parents in Philly for 7 years, say recruiting more same-sex foster parents is an urgent priority.
I grew up Catholic. My wife grew up Christian. We still go to church on Sundays. We take our son. To eliminate families based on them being same-sex is eliminating a potential loving home for a child.
We don't want people to be dissuaded. We are still recruiting families and parents and same-sex couples to become foster parents. So I certainly don't want folks in the community to be dissuaded by this particular opinion that was delivered to us today.
Philadelphia's foster care network has 24 private agencies that screen parents. Catholic Social Services is the only one that denies same-sex couples. The agency and longtime Catholic foster parents like Sharon L. Fulton, sidelined by the contract dispute, hope the partnership with the city resumes soon.
I have room in my house and time in my life, and I want to make a difference. Catholic Social Service does wonderful work, and we have children that hurt, and we need the service.
Have you gotten a chance to talk to her, connect with her since the decision?
She is relieved. You know, this has been a long fight. It's been 3 years without allowing any children to be placed in her home or other homes with Catholic Social Services. And so it's just a big sigh of relief today.
The city says it's still deciding whether to resume a contract with CSS under an exemption to its anti-discrimination policy or whether to revise its policy and keep them boxed out.
There are more homes for children when Catholic Social Services is allowed to serve. I think the court's made it pretty clear what the city needs to do next year.
We want to understand what does this mean and how we'll move forward as a city and how that could ultimately have impacts across the country.
LGBT rights advocates tonight say they're relieved the conservative court didn't go further.
The decision was not a sweeping victory But this is a good outcome in that the court, again, is finally saying that discrimination has no place in our foster care or adoption systems and anywhere really in our democracy.
And for more now, we bring in Devin Dwyer, along with ABC News contributor and Cardozo law professor Kate Shaw for more analysis. Always a pleasure to see both of you and appreciate your time. Let's start with Devin and the religious liberty LGBT case that you just reported on. This was a narrow ruling. So in that way, can both sides claim at least some victory here?
Well, I've been talking to parties on both sides of the case since the decision came down, Trevor, and I got to tell you, both are very upbeat about this unanimous opinion. And you don't find that very often at the Supreme Court. So I think this court, Chief Justice John Roberts, found a way to thread the needle on these two very controversial issues here. Catholic social services and the religious liberty groups here certainly feel vindicated. They heard the court's words that the city's policy for exemptions in their anti-discrimination rules needed to be taken into account, and perhaps here an exemption was due for this religious group. At the very least, it does sound like Catholic Social Services will be back in the game in foster care in Philadelphia. At the same time, LGBTQ advocates told me that they were very heartened by what the court didn't say. They didn't give free license to religious groups to be able to discriminate against LGBTQ people on the basis of faith nationwide. That was not put in writing here. And in fact, a lot were heartened by Chief Justice Roberts' explicit words that gay and lesbian couples deserve respect. They deserve to be treated equally, and that's an important interest for the government to pursue. So both sides finding some positive takeaways from this very significant case.
Of course, even narrow Supreme Court rulings tend to have much larger implications stretching beyond that simple case. Kate, what do you think are some of the larger implications of this case going forward?
So I think there's a real possibility that this case is, although Devin is right, it's a narrow opinion, it does confirm something that we already had a pretty clear sense of, which is that this court really privileges religious liberty, and that sometimes it may side with religious liberty, even when religious liberty claims come into conflict with other kinds of constitutional claims or values. So think about the court's decisions in some of the recent COVID cases, right? So churches and religious houses of worship that have challenged restrictions put in place by governors around things like capacity at worship services. The court has sided with those houses of worship, even in the face of arguments that public health requires the imposition of capacity limits. So in this case, too, the court did side with the religious objection against Philadelphia's argument that it wanted to just neutrally apply to everyone these general anti-discrimination requirements. But I think Devin is right that the court definitely doesn't say in this case that religious claims trump other kinds of claims, in part because the court was able to point to the exemptions that exist in this Philadelphia practice and basically say, these religious entities should be eligible for the same kinds of exemptions. So the court in some ways is kind of punting or leaving to another day a big statement about what happens if religious liberty comes into conflict with things like principles of equality and non-discrimination.
Still absolutely plenty to chew on there, but let's turn to the Obamacare decision. Devin, we know that conservative opponents of the Affordable Care Act have sworn to fight this thing to the ends of the earth, and they've tried now multiple times. What are the potential next steps for opponents of the health care law? Can they still fight it from here?
Dozens of times in Congress, Trevor, the President Trump appointing Amy Coney Barrett, some of these other justices with the express purpose and hope that they would vote to get rid of the law. None of it has come to fruition. And I got to tell you that legal scholars that I talked to today, people like Kate, and health policy experts who are deeply plugged into the health community, the consensus is that the existential challenges to the law, these attempts to root the whole thing out and get rid of it, have really come to an end with this case. Obamacare is here to stay. Now, that doesn't mean that there won't be skirmishes about parts of the law, attacks on it, legal battles over certain provisions that are still there. This is a huge, massive piece of legislation that's been on the books for 10 years. years. There is a federal challenge underway, for example, taking aim at some of the law's mandates on insurers to provide no-cost benefits like annual checkups and the like. So those will continue. But the big takeaway from today, I think, is the fact that this court has now affirmed the law 3 times in major substance, and it's likely going to stick around now.
It would seem to have some substantial foreshadowing, at least, if there were any further attempts. But Kate, let's go back to you on that because you're so good at putting these things in a big picture focus. This case was decided on the grounds of standing. The justices found those plaintiffs, the 18 states, they didn't suffer a sufficient injury that allows them to sue. What does this mean for future cases?
As to the Affordable Care Act, I think it does mean that it's going to be difficult for individuals to get into court to try to argue that the law is, in its entirety unconstitutional. So that's either private individuals or states, right? Standing is this core constitutional idea that a court doesn't get to just decide policy, right? And an individual who doesn't like a law doesn't get to go to court to try to get the law thrown out. The individual or state has to show the court that it is uniquely injured by a provision of law, a legal requirement, something like that. And here the court said, well, individuals aren't being penalized for failing to carry health insurance, so they aren't hurt by this mandate in a way that would allow them to come to court and get a judicial ruling on the constitutionality of the law. And the state said, well, they have to spend money implementing other parts of the Affordable Care Act. But the justices basically said, well, that's not about the mandate. And the challenge here is to the individual mandate. And so we're not going to allow you to come to court because you have to pay to implement other provisions of the Affordable Care Act. So I think that the court actually really is just kind of reaffirming basic foundational principles about the role of courts in a democracy, which is to say that the role is a limited one. And so I don't think that it breaks very new ground with respect to the idea of standing, although I do think that, to the extent that there are individuals who are continuing to try to craft novel legal arguments about why the law is unconstitutional in its entirety, this standing ruling, I think, is going to be an obstacle to getting into court even to have those kinds of arguments heard. Although I'll note that Justice Sam Alito, in a footnote, did say, this is a standing ruling. A state that's kicked on standing grounds could come back and file a new lawsuit with a different theory. They're not barred from doing that by this opinion. So at least one justice seemed to be sending some signals that the doors aren't closed in some future case, although I do think it's going to be a very steep uphill battle to try to win in a future case if the court ever does have another one.
Especially given that this ruling was made with that conservative majority. Devin Dwyer and Kate Shaw, always here to put things in perspective for us, all things Supreme Court. Appreciate both of your times.
Thanks, Trevor.
Thank you.
And now to the pandemic. Tomorrow, the CDC will hold an emergency meeting on more than 300 reports of rare heart inflammation out of the millions of people who are vaccinated against COVID-19. And that's happening as concerns over the contagious Delta variant continue. ABC's Stephanie Ramos brings us the latest.
Tonight, with the highly contagious Delta variant now confirmed in 41 states, a blunt warning from the White House COVID team.
If you're fully vaccinated, you're protected. But if you're unvaccinated, you're at risk of getting seriously ill or spreading the disease to others.
Experts warn the Delta variant is spreading fast and could soon become the dominant strain. Communities rolling out new ways to reach the unvaccinated. The Vax Express train outside Boston bringing shots to areas hard hit by COVID.
It was very convenient because you pretty much brought it to us. We live right on the next street over. It's where people are that you know and you feel safe around.
Across the South, where vaccination rates are lowest, health officials are sounding the alarm.
If this thing gets uncorked, you're looking at transmission levels we've never seen.
It comes as a CDC advisory panel gets ready to hold an emergency meeting tomorrow on about 300 reports of heart inflammation, myocarditis, among the 20 million adolescents and young adults who have been vaccinated. 16-year-old Noah Hires in Alabama was vomiting with flu-like symptoms after his second Pfizer shot.
2 days after my vaccine that night, I had cleared up and I felt fine, no symptoms at all. I went to sleep that night and I woke up at 2 a.m. with chest pain.
He says that pain went away the next morning, but he was hospitalized. Noah's doctors think the second vaccine dose might have caused temporary heart inflammation.
There's a lot more risk in having COVID. There's a lot more long-term risk. And as far as we know, there's zero long-term effects from this. So 100% would still get the vaccine.
And Stephanie joins us now from Hackensack Hospital in New Jersey, where researchers are actively tracking that Delta variant. And Stephanie, now as we're seeing the vaccines maybe drop off a little bit, the Biden administration has made an announcement about a big investment in an antiviral treatment. What are the details on that?
Well, Trevor, the Department of Health and Human Services says the government will invest more than $3 billion to develop and manufacture antiviral pills to treat COVID. They can be taken at home early on in infection to prevent serious illness, much like antiviral pills taken now for the flu. Now, the government says its goal is to have this treatment available within a year. So we shall see. Trevor?
Definitely a reminder that some people are still getting sick. Stephanie Ramos, thank you very much. And it was a landmark moment in American history today as President Biden officially declared Juneteenth a new federal holiday, marking the day the last African-American slaves were freed in Texas following the Civil War. Here's ABC's senior national correspondent Steve Osunsami.
With the stroke of his pen today, President Biden signed into law a federal holiday for an event that many Americans had never even heard of until a few years ago.
This is a day of profound, in my view, profound weight and profound power.
Freedom Day for American slaves, Juneteenth. And it was almost 156 years ago to the day when federal troops moved into Galveston, Texas, setting free the last remaining slaves in America who had no idea that they had been freed years before.
We are gathered here in a house built by enslaved people. We are footsteps away from where President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation.
The first black vice president was holding the hand of the 94-year-old black woman who helped make this happen, Miss Opal Lee. President Biden thanked her today. She's marched for years trying to make Juneteenth a holiday.
I'm really a little old lady in tennis shoes getting in everybody else's business.
There are many who feel it's no accident that this is happening after the street protests following the murder of George Floyd and the growing conversations over race in this country. And the president today is saying there is still work to do.
We see this assault from restrictive laws, threats of intimidation, voter purges, and more. An assault that offends the very democracy, our very democracy.
Across this nation, 16 states have recently passed new voting laws that many feel are meant to suppress the black vote. Nearly 400 similar laws have been introduced in state houses nationwide.
And Steve Osunsami joins us now. Steve, you've covered so many of our most powerful stories about the shifts that we've seen in the country in the past year when it comes to racial justice, including unearthing some incredible stories from the Tulsa Race Massacre and the memories and the scars that have followed in that past 100 years. What have you heard today from some of the people you've met about this moment?
One of the big things I'm hearing is that there's a clash between the symbolism of approving a holiday that recognizes the freedoms that were bestowed to many African Americans and the real hard work that many would say needs to be done in the Congress towards protecting those freedoms today. I've heard a lot of discussions today about the renewing of portions of the Voting Rights Act of the 1960s, especially in the context of a number of state houses across the country that have passed more than a dozen or so laws that many would say restricts the freedom of black Americans to vote. So there's a lot of talk today celebrating, of course, this holiday, but also asking whether or not many of the Republicans who overwhelmingly voted to support this would actually vote for real reform for black Americans, real reform in laws that help black Americans. Trevor?
Perhaps the difference between symbolic gesture and concrete action. Steve Osunsami, thank you for your time. And when we come back, we are in Iran tonight, ahead of that country's presidential election tomorrow. The major implications the outcome could have on a possible new nuclear deal with the U.S. And back here at home, the tropical threat that could soak the Gulf Coast this weekend with up to a foot of rain. Our Rob Marciano times it out. And also the toll of years of below average rainfall, along with rising temperatures and climate change. One of America's pristine sources of water so deplete that boats that used to lie buried at the bottom are now on dry land.
With
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir.
We have made it through another week together.
America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
Admit it, these days, what you need to know
seems to change just about every day.
What is it that you really want to know, need to know?
To help you not just get through your day,
but to make the most of it. Feel smarter.
Feel better.
Feel happier.
Well, how about a third hour of Good Morning America in the afternoon?
GMA 3, what you need to know. Lunchtime at 1 Eastern, 12 Central and Pacific on ABC. It's all about you.
Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, Michael Strahan. Wake up with America's #1 most watched morning show, ABC's
Good Morning America.
The world may feel out of your control, but your happiness doesn't have to be. Learn the secrets to happiness. Listen to the 10% Happier podcast, free on Apple Podcasts.
ABC News honored winner for the second straight year with the Edward R. Murrow Award for Overall Excellence in Television. ABC News, America's #1 news source. Friday nights, 9/8 Central. True crime, cinematic, real-life drama, stunning, the unthinkable. Follow the clues, The Hunt, True Crime, 2020. Friday nights, 9/8 Central on ABC.
Right now, after this year, how can we come together, lift each other, and celebrate Juneteenth? Well, how about
President Obama, happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth to you.
Starting with him.
A lot of people feel like they've lost hope. How can people get that hope back?
And performances by her, Leon Bridges, Chloe Bailey, Jimmy Allen, and so many inspiring surprises.
Nothing like this.
Friday night, hosted by Leslie Odom Jr. Celebrate Juneteenth. Together we triumph on ABC.
The reality is our country can collapse from within.
You see the white power movement on the march. Klansmen and neo-Nazis, skinheads, it's meant to incite war.
From the KKK to Oklahoma City to Charlottesville, the new documentary event special.
We just need to start talking about race.
Homegrown hate, the war among us.
This is a real wake-up call.
Streaming now on ABC News Live.
Welcome back. It's one of America's crown jewels, and also it's critical for the drinking water supply for millions. But tonight, Lake Powell on the Utah-Arizona border is approaching low levels never seen there before. Can anything be done to restore this beautiful lake? Our Ginger Z has this week's It's Not Too Late.
Hi, I'm Ginger Z, and it's not too late. Hey. Welcome to Lake Powell. That is what it usually would look like, and this is what it's looking like right now. This is a shipwreck that was under for who knows how long. It's muscle covered and gnarly, and you don't need data or water gauges to tell you, because these are popping up, that the water is down significantly, nearly 40 feet from just last year. Water usage has to do with it, but so does drought, and that's what this story is going to be about.
Lake Powell. A glistening oasis in the extreme desert heat, a man-made treasure along the Utah and Arizona state line. And it's flanked by these otherworldly-looking rock formations that are just jutting above the turquoise water. That water is the supply for 30 million people in the Southwest. It's a crucial piece to living in the desert, and it's down to 34% capacity. And as the water drops, history is being revealed.
Sure enough, it's a good old ski boat. Somebody decided it was not worth bringing back, and there it lies forever.
Boats lost in the last decade and beyond, now perched on the stony beaches that used to be the lake's bottom.
800 wet slips. That's a lot of boats here.
From one of the still working docks,
let's get some shipwrecks.
We embark on a 5-hour tour.
That right there is a good example of a dry dock.
Yeah, dry lawn tramp, absolutely.
Right, and so it used to have water as of...
A couple years ago.
So 2 years ago it had water, now it doesn't. That seems like a big drop.
Yeah, pretty significant, 40 to 50 feet probably.
And it's not over. The lake is projected to drop to the lowest level ever since it was filled back in the 1960s.
This is the time of year when we should see several inches of rise every day at the lake. where the lake might rise 10 to 40 feet by, let's say, mid-July or early August. This year, we're not likely going to see any rise at all, or very little, if any.
I had not been to Lake Powell, and if I didn't know better, maybe I wouldn't know that we were in a decades-long drought. But you can't miss it now. Boats like this showing up, about 6 of them on the lake so far. And while they are mysteries, it's really no mystery how we got here.
The levels and the thresholds of Lake Powell are a concern as we start to see the reservoir decrease, because Powell is the savings account that we have that's maintained our ability to continue to meet our obligations and to have water during 22 years of drought.
And we're down around?
It's like 30, 35, 40, almost 35, 40. I mean, that's the point that we're worried about.
And that's kind of the uh-oh level.
Right. What we're seeing is a trend, and it's a trend which is not a good trend, and that's less water available for the Southwest, and that impacts us all, from drinking water availability to irrigation of crops. It can impact many parts of our life if we can't get our arms around this problem.
It's a problem etched in the sandstone.
See the gorgeous discoloration on the side of the rock? The different layers tell you a story about time and about how much water has been here at different points. The highest levels, some of that deep red up there, the water would have been up there in the 1980s or 1990s. But the story now is how low it is. It's not just the discoloration of the rock, but you can see that tree line or the bushes there on the very top. That's where the highest water level would be. So all of this would be underwater, but certainly hasn't stopped people from enjoying it.
Climate scientists are saying that warming temperatures are responsible for about half of the megadrought. After a measly snowpack for California through Utah and a non-soon, meaning one of the driest monsoon seasons on record in the Southwest, the projection for this season is still below average. Back on Lake Powell.
What's been the impact of the water levels dropping?
Really for us, it's just access, and we just have to continue to lower our marinas down and just keep ever changing with it.
Robert and Captain Jim taking us to one last epic spot.
We came up here last year. We frequented this spot over the last probably 5 years since I've been here. And you weren't actually able to drive under or boat under this at all.
An arch, now above the aquamarine water, almost as if one of those shipwrecks left a treasure.
It all comes back then to Lake Powell here. And that arch behind me, another symbol of just how much water has dropped. That arch, as of last year, was barely a sliver. Now it's nearly a cave. And it was fascinating because Robert, who I was interviewing, was asking me, so what do you want to accomplish with this story? It's a great question. And I think the answer is, after spending a day on gorgeous Lake Powell, I want people to be educated. I want them to know where their water comes from. I'd love for us to think about how to conserve it, because every drop you use, depending on when you water your lawn in the day, it impacts Robert, it impacts all of us, and it impacts our future. And I really believe that it's not too late.
Our thanks to Ginger. And for areas like Lake Powell, the hottest days could still be to come. Meanwhile, tropical storm warnings have been issued from Louisiana to Alabama, including New Orleans, and up to a foot of rain is possible in some areas through Sunday. Our Rob Marciano is tracking it all. Rob, good evening.
Good evening, Trevor. We'll start with the heat. Just is unrelenting. Over 30 million Americans enduring triple-digit heat, and we had more records fall today already in Phoenix, 117, 120 in Palm Springs, and the red on the map just doesn't go away. As a matter of fact, we've expanded things. There's heat advisories out now for the central part of the country, but the excessive heat warnings through much of California. Vegas will be threatening a record again tomorrow, and these temperatures don't really go down that much until we get through the weekend. Meanwhile, in the Gulf of Mexico, you mentioned that we could see our next tropical storm, our third one of the season, developing. Has yet to do so, but we think it'll happen overnight tonight. So tropical storm warnings have been posted by the National Hurricane Center from middle Louisiana all the way to the Florida border. This thing, likely not to strengthen a ton, but will be a tropical storm likely by landfall tomorrow night. Somewhere around the Atchafalaya and then getting towards Baton Rouge early Saturday morning. Most of the action with this is going to be on the right side of the storm, and that will bring most of the rain and wind all the way to Atlanta. But some of this area is very saturated from the rains we've had this past month, so another 6 to 12 inches of rain is going to certainly bring more dangerous flooding for parts of the southeast. Trevor?
A whole lot for you to keep track of, and we know you have us covered. Thank you, Rob Marciano. And still ahead here on Prime, those major SCOTUS rulings impacting many lives tonight. How many people are breathing easy now, assured they will not lose their health care anytime soon? We go by the numbers. The spacewalk snarled. Astronauts run out of time to roll out new solar panels. What caused the delay and when they might be able to safely walk again? And a dream Airbnb, the famed home studio used by Outkast, now renting for a limited time. But first, our tweet of the day. Happy National Mascot Day from Bucky the Badger, Brutus from Ohio State, and his friends.
I know what happened, and I'm not guilty.
Why the fascination with criminal trials? Figure out what's really out there.
She revealed she had murdered his family.
I know in my heart they did this.
It's the time of suspicion. The ending's really tough.
You don't know whether truth is going to be difficult to find unless you try to find it.
The reality is our country can collapse from within.
You see the white power movement on the march. You will not replace us! Klansmen and neo-Nazis, skinheads, it's meant to incite war.
From the KKK to Oklahoma City to Charlottesville, the new documentary event special.
We just need to start talking about race.
Homegrown Hate, The War Among Us.
This is a real wake-up call.
Streaming now on ABC News Live.
Admit it, these days, what you need to know
seems to change just about every day.
What is it that you really want to know, need to know?
To help you not just get through your day,
but to make the most of it. Feel smarter.
Feel better.
Feel happier.
Well, how about a third hour of Good Morning America in the afternoon?
GMA 3, what you need to know. Lunchtime at 1 Eastern, 12 Central and Pacific on ABC. It's all about you.
24 hours, Assault on the Capitol, the ABC News original, exclusively on Hulu, now streaming. With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir.
We have made it through another week together.
America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
The world may feel out of your control, but your happiness doesn't have to be. Learn the secrets to happiness. Listen to the 10% Happier podcast, free on Apple Podcasts.
Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, Michael Strahan. Wake up with America's #1 most watched morning show. ABC's
Good Morning America.
ABC News honored winner for the second straight year with the Edward R. Murrow Award for Overall Excellence in Television. ABC News, America's #1 news source.
Now we take a look by the numbers at the impact of today's landmark Supreme Court ruling upholding the Affordable Care Act. 7 justices ruled to protect Obamacare, finding the plaintiffs didn't have standing to sue, and that ruling included 4 of the court's conservative justices, John Roberts, Clarence Thomas, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. The ruling means a record 31 million Americans with health care coverage connected to Obamacare can keep their insurance, and it also impacts 54 million Americans with pre-existing conditions and young people who can stay on their parents' insurance plans until they're 26 years old. 1.2 million Americans signed up for Obamacare plans during the pandemic through a special enrollment period that's open until August 15th. Now, overturning Obamacare could have resulted in 21 million additional uninsured Americans by 2022, which would have been a 69% increase, according to the Urban Institute. Today's decision was the 3rd time the Supreme Court has upheld the health care law against legal challenges, and it could be the last. We still have a ton to get to here on Prime, the ABC News exclusive. We're hearing from the family of the South Carolina son and mother who were gunned down, their plea for help tonight. Cruise ship grounded, the COVID outbreak tonight postponing the launch of a new mega ship. And this Juneteenth, reclaiming the roots of a treasured American cuisine, soul food. But first, a look at our top trending stories on abcnews.com.
guide you through it all tonight. We have made it through another week together.
Big hug,
We tell all our patients how much they're loved. We hold their hands.
David, we're showing our love and support for all the ICU staff.
They're the heroes in this.
The world may feel out of your control, but your happiness doesn't have to be. Learn the secrets to happiness. Listen to the 10% Happier podcast, free on Apple Podcasts.
Now, as the country reopens with so much hope for a brighter summer, it's time to
rise and shine.
And we're celebrating by hitting the road.
Let's do it.
Traveling to all 50 states this summer.
It's time to rise and shine.
Let us shine.
Let us shine.
Yes, it's time to celebrate this summer with Good Morning America! It's ABC's Good Morning America's Great Rise and Shine Tour.
Good morning, America!
ABC News honored winner for the second straight year with the Edward R. Murrow Award for Overall Excellence in Television. ABC News, America's #1 news source.
This is GMA3, what you need to know. GMA3.
A third hour of Good Morning America in the afternoon.
It's all about you. Lunchtime on ABC.
The reality is our country can collapse from within.
You see the white power movement on the march. Klansmen and neo-Nazis, skinheads, it's meant to incite war.
From the KKK to Oklahoma City to Charlottesville, the new documentary event special.
We just need to start talking about race.
Homegrown Hate, the war among us.
This is a real wake-up call.
Streaming now on ABC News Live.
Friday nights, 9/8 Central. True crime, cinematic, real-life drama, stunning, the unthinkable. Follow the clues. The Hunt. True crime. 2020. Friday nights, 9/8 Central on ABC.
Sheriff's Office!
We march together.
The most powerful stories of our time, anytime. Nightline.
For the third and likely final time, the Supreme Court upheld the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. By a vote of 7-2, the justices ruling that the plaintiffs, who had objected to the individual mandate that most Americans must have insurance, had not suffered any injury that would give them standing to sue, because there is no longer any penalty for not having insurance. 31 million people are insured under the ACA. That's an all-time high. And 54 million with pre-existing conditions have come to rely on its protections.
Just a relief that we will never hit a point where we can't insure him.
The first test on LGBT rights for the Supreme Court's 6-3 conservative majority ended in unanimous agreement. The justices siding with the Catholic Social Services Agency in its contract dispute with the city of Philadelphia over same-sex foster parents. The agency refused to certify LGBT people as foster parents as a matter of faith. The city says it's still deciding whether to resume a contract with CSS under an exemption to its anti-discrimination policy, or whether to revise its policy and keep them boxed out.
Tonight, with the highly contagious Delta variant now confirmed in 41 states, a blunt warning from the White House COVID team.
If you're unvaccinated, you're at risk of getting seriously ill or spreading the disease to others.
Experts warn the Delta variant is spreading fast.
White House COVID health officials detailed a new program to help manufacture antiviral medicines to treat people with COVID.
It's going to accelerate the clinical testing of promising antiviral medicines.
Fauci says the program will be funded with $3 billion from the American Rescue Plan.
A Royal Caribbean ship that was set to sail on July 3rd. Now that's been pushed to July 31st. 8 crew members tested positive on that ship. 6 were asymptomatic, 2 had mild symptoms. All of them had been vaccinated. But this is really important. They tested positive before those vaccines were fully developed.
You won't see Naomi Osaka at Wimbledon this year, her agent saying the star is skipping it. But she will play in the Tokyo Olympics. Osaka withdrew from the French Open, citing mental health concerns. Rafael Nadal also bowing out of both Wimbledon and the Olympics. He says he's listening to his body in order to prolong his career.
We're still talking about that suit issue. Hopefully we have words for you shortly.
A spacesuit malfunction caused a setback at the International Space Station.
What we are going to do is have you return to the airlock.
A NASA astronaut trying to install solar panels was forced back inside to reset his equipment.
After a series of tests with that equipment, the suit is holding steady.
Mission Control stressing that the astronaut was safe the entire time. Their next attempt will be on Sunday.
Still see the writing on the wall from us tagging when we were in high school. Outkast tagged, the Big Boy, the Dre, and you know, it's all still there, man, 20-some years later.
You can now rent a piece of history. The home where Outkast recorded some of their early music is now listed on Airbnb.
We are at the Dungeon, the landmark here in Atlanta, the start of, you know, the whole Southern hip-hop crusade where Outkast, Goody Mob, Organized Noise, we all lived here and started the Dungeon family.
The Atlanta property owned by Big Boy birthed a hip-hop movement in the early 90s. Those first songs written in this basement.
This is the holy ground, you know, underneath this plastic tarp is red clay. That's red clay. And, you know, we used to have dusty records and dirty beats.
Turning overseas now, the Israeli military has confirmed airstrikes on Hamas targets in Gaza. The IDF says they struck military compounds and a Hamas rocket launch site after explosive-laden balloons were launched into Israel from the Gaza Strip. This is the second Israeli attack this week since a new government took over on Sunday. And the conflicts in the Middle East were on the table during President Biden's summit with Vladimir Putin, including discussions on Iran and the nuclear deal, which President Biden is now trying to revive. ABC News Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz traveled from the summit in Geneva to Tehran, where she joins us tonight ahead of a high-stakes election there this weekend.
Trevor, the U.S. and Russia do agree that Iran should not have a nuclear weapon, and both countries are watching this election very carefully. It is almost a certainty that a hardline cleric named Raisi will be elected. He is a favorite of the Ayatollah. There were some very enthusiastic rallies for him here this week, but the majority of Iranians say they won't vote because moderate candidates were disqualified from the race. Now, Raisi does support the nuclear deal that President Biden is trying to revive, but if the hardliner is elected, it will make it more difficult to get a longer and tougher deal, which could slow everything down. Trevor?
Martha Raddatz in Iran, thank you very much. Next to an ABC News exclusive, for the first time, we're hearing from the family of a mother and son who were gunned down in South Carolina. ABC's Eva Pilgrim sat down with that family, who is pleading for the public's help in finding the killer.
He's a very caring person, and she was the rock of their family.
Members of the Murdaugh family speaking for the first time since their brother Alec Murdaugh found his 22-year-old son Paul and his wife Maggie shot to death outside their South Carolina home last week.
I got a call from Alec Monday night, and as soon as I answered the phone, I knew something was wrong. No, man. He just told me. He said, "Come as fast as you can. Paul and Maggie have been hurt."
His voice, the fear. He was just distraught.
No arrests have been made, no suspects named. The Murdaughs issuing a plea for help this morning.
Well, the person that did this is out there, and there's information, however big or however small it is.
Did they have any enemies?
I really don't know of any enemies. You hear all this talk on the social media with regard to Paul, but I don't know of anybody that would truly be an enemy or truly want to harm them.
Paul Murdaugh had been awaiting trial, accused of being under the influence in 2019 while crashing a boat, killing 19-year-old passenger Mallory Beach. He had pleaded not guilty in the case. The Murdaughs telling us Paul had been receiving threats from strangers, people they say they didn't know.
Were they, violent threats?
I didn't think it was a credible threat. If it was, I would have tried to do something or notified someone. But I guess, maybe I made a mistake.
The Murdaughs are one of the most prominent families in South Carolina, part of the legal establishment going back almost a century. 3 generations of Murdaughs held the solicitor's job in this region for years. They also own a prominent law firm where Randy and Alec currently work today. Some in the community questioning if the family used their connections to protect Paul the night of the boat crash.
Do you think anyone in your family interfered in any way?
I don't.
Do you feel like some of the perception of your family has been wrong?
Yes. I see words like dynasty used and power. And I don't know exactly how people use those words, but we're just regular people and we're hurting just like they would be hurting if this had happened to them.
This tight-knit family holding on to each other.
How's your brother doing?
He's upright and looks strong and making his way, and then he just breaks down. It's tough for us.
It changes you as a family. And I can't imagine the horror that my brother's experiencing.
Our thanks to Eva. Next tonight, we have a story of survival and resistance that many chefs and even one famous artist are trying to preserve, and the food isn't too bad either. Here's ABC's Deb Roberts.
I'm sure your potato salad will go with my chicken.
This is great. Oh, I can't wait. When I think of soul food, 3 things come to mind. Good friends, good conversation, and of course, good food.
This is fun. Can't wait for our guests to get here.
I know. They'll be here in a minute. So I invited a few folks over for a Juneteenth dinner, co-hosted with my friend, renowned chef and opera singer Alexander Smalls.
Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water.
Oh my gosh, you're taking me back home in Georgia for me. When you're in the kitchen, Alexander, what do you feel?
This is home. This is comfort. This is joy. It's also a conversation with the ancestors. Oh my, lovely. When I was a kid, I understood that the person who cooked the food had the power, ruled the roost.
That's true. Hello. Oh, Lorraine. Hi. Our guests, actress and foodie Lorraine Toussaint, food journalist Kayla Stewart, and chef Pierre Serrault. We had to do it up right with this incredible spread. Black-eyed peas, collard greens, chef's famous Carolina cabbage and corn slaw, and of course, Southern fried chicken. So what does this table mean for you, chef?
Thanksgiving. People of color owned nothing. There were times we didn't own ourselves, but we owned that recipe. And to be able to create something that had a sense of bountifulness is what a table like this really means.
Gracious Lord, make us truly humble and thankful for the food which we're about to receive, and help us to always remember those who do not have. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. When my mom would make something like this and she would have her first bite, she would go,
This food makes me want to dance.
I know,
very easily.
right?
It's gorgeous, beautiful. It's vibrant.
The star of this meal, Alexander's oxtails and okra. I'm getting down on these oxtails. They are amazing.
That's not pretty eating, that's good eating.
The braised tailbone of cow that has been slow cooked for hours, a dish that has very humble beginnings.
So much of it was what was left over from when we were slaves, because the tails were the parts of the animal they threw away.
What was once scraps from a slave master's table, now a delicacy adopted by other cultures. Do you think the African influence on food has been shared or appropriated?
You can track our influence through the transatlantic slave trade. Shared. I would hesitate to say that anything that we ever had was shared.
Growing up in the South, there's this concept of soul food, and then there's Southern food. And I think Southern food has been given the image of white food, when really Southern food comes from African. Black chefs in the South have rarely been given the attention.
In fact, up until the 50s, cooks were typically domestic workers, and most of them black. Then James Beard made white male chefs fashionable.
He made it glamorous. 30 years ago, I stood in this space almost by myself. In order to move forward, I had to own, not just a seat at the table, but the whole damn table.
People just assume you make soul food?
People definitely assume that as a black chef that soul food is what you do. At Ghetto Gastro, what we aim to do is remove those stigmas that European food is the luxury,
The pinnacle.
right?
You know, for years, African-American chefs have been told that food wasn't worthy. So nothing gives me more pleasure than to see the young chefs now who really are putting it on the line, telling their stories through food.
Among them, singer Khalees. She's part of a new generation of young black chefs connecting back to their roots.
You just start to realize like things taste really different than they do when you get them from the store. I remember when I bought the farm, a lot of people were like, oh my God, you want to be a farmer? Like, how is that? You know, like, it seems so far removed from what anybody wanted or what was cool or what was sexy or fashionable or whatever, right? And it was funny to me because I'm just like, when did this become uncool? Like, when did it become not cool to live on your own land?
And finding a new path forged by farming.
Soul food really came from the garden. It came from the farm. It wasn't canned, it wasn't frozen. It wasn't unhealthy. Think about mac and cheese, or you think about a candied yam. Everybody wasn't eating like that every day. Those are the treats. I think our conception of soul food has become warped because of the narrative that's been fed to us. Food really is the universal language. It brings people together. It is the most communal thing you can do. I do hope that like it becomes infectious, and I hope that more people that look like me and that look like my kids want to go and say, you know what, even if it's just this little plot, I'm going to plant some stuff there and I'm going to eat better so I can share it and I'm going to give back to my community, and kind of like that's, hopefully, you know, that's how these things snowball and become history.
Comfort food is so much more than what's on our plate.
Food has been the thing that has soothed our souls. I was able to comfort my family.
I hope that those that are eating our food learn how to love black people and the black hands that have given us this food and this history that have helped form the food and culture that exists in the United States.
Yes, thank you.
As our feast came to a close,
I just want to say cheers.
These souls were feeling grateful, happy, and very full.
To our ancestors.
To our ancestors. I love that.
And if you have not had dinner yet, that piece did not help curb your appetite. That's Deb Roberts, and that story and much more will be part of an ABC News Soul of a Nation special, Juneteenth, Together We Triumph. It includes Michael Strahan's interview with former President Barack Obama. It airs tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Eastern on ABC. And before we go tonight, the image of the day. President Biden embracing Opal Lee at today's Juneteenth bill signing. The 94-year-old Lee has marched for years to try to make Juneteenth a federal holiday, and today finally saw it become a reality with a front row seat at the White House. That's our show for this hour. Stay tuned to ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories, and thanks for streaming with us. And coming up in the next hour, we're staying on top of several stories. This is the worst of times in Hong Kong. That's the message tonight from a newspaper under siege there. The arrest sparking major controversy tonight. The big brands duking it out for your money. How can you get the best deals for Prime Day and the major sales that are right around the corner?
The most powerful stories of our time, anytime. Nightline.
There once was a housewife, Erica Jean, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, who married a hustler.
Tom Girardi was LA Law, so powerful.
They were just blowing money left and right. But then,
the Real Housewives star accused with her husband of staging a fake divorce.
Thomas Girardi accused of embezzlement. People love a good scandal.
The biggest question is, did she know?
The Housewife and the Hustler, only on Hulu.
Friday nights, 9/8 Central. True crime, cinematic, real-life drama, stunning, the unthinkable. Follow the clues. The Hunt. True Crime. 2020. Friday nights, 9/8 Central on ABC.
There once was a housewife,
Erica Jane,
a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, who married a hustler.
Tom Girardi was LA Law. So powerful.
They were just blowing money left and right. But then,
The Real Housewives star accused with her husband of staging a fake divorce.
Thomas Girardi accused of embezzlement. People love a good scandal.
the biggest question is, did she know?
The Housewife and the Hustler, only on Hulu.
Good evening, I'm Trevor Ault. Thank you for streaming with us. We're monitoring several developments here at ABC News at this hour. The Department of Justice has slammed the states of West Virginia and Arkansas for their bans involving trans athletes, calling them unconstitutional. The department filed statements of interest in lawsuits that seek to overturn new laws in those states. The DOJ said the laws in both states violate the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, and it also said the West Virginia law violates Title IX, which prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex in any education program or activity receiving federal funds. Crowdsourced money will now help fund the border wall in Texas. Governor Greg Abbott said he will also be using $250 million in state money to build more barriers. A web page and a post office box have been set up so anyone interested can donate money toward the project. Researchers are warning a potential housing crisis looms over the nation's post-pandemic recovery. A new survey says 4.2 million Americans report it is very likely or somewhat likely that they will face an eviction or foreclosure in the next 2 months. That's according to census data. And data from a Harvard report said 17% of renter households were behind on their rent in early 2021. The eviction moratorium is set to expire at the end of this month. And tonight, the Supreme Court with a major decision impacting millions of Americans, upholding the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, for the third time. The 7-2 decision crossed ideological lines on the court. It's a major victory for Democrats who have worked to protect this law for the past decade from repeated conservative challenges. Here's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
A big decision day in the nation's highest court. The Supreme Court upholding the Affordable Care Act for the third time since it became law in 2010. This time in a 7-2 decision, the justices dismissed an effort by Texas and other Republican-led states to topple the health care law.
The law has survived political attacks, administrative setbacks, legal challenges, and market disruptions, but the law has come through.
Justice Stephen Breyer writing in the majority opinion the plaintiffs did not prove injury and lacked legal standing to bring forward the case. The decision preserves health insurance coverage for an estimated 31 million Americans, like Christine Callahan of Ohio, whose son Andrew has an undiagnosed genetic condition requiring $7,000 a month in medical care.
Just a relief that we will never hit a point where we can't insure him.
In a tweet, President Biden heralded the decision as a big win for the American people. Democrats calling it proof Obamacare is here to stay.
Let me say definitively, the Affordable Care Act has won.
Some Republicans all but conceding that point.
It's eventually going to be pretty hard to unravel from the system.
Our thanks to Elizabeth Schulze. And as America hits the road and rental car demand is spiking, an urgent new warning about scammers posing as rental car companies to take advantage of trusting consumers. ABC transportation correspondent Gio Benitez tells us how you can keep your money safe and how not to fall for these bad actors.
This may look like a legitimate car rental booking website, but Auto Rental News says it's actually fraudulent and not affiliated with any legitimate business. And look closely, the word vehicle misspelled, a red flag. The site no longer active.
Is this something that you're seeing industry-wide, or is it just, one particular car company?
It's really all over the world.
The Better Business Bureau now warning consumers that it's receiving reports of con artists impersonating rental car company representatives.
This is obviously happening at a time when so many people are looking for rental cars, when there are rental car shortages.
It's really a perfect storm. Rental car rates are highest that I've ever seen.
How does this scam work?
A fraudulent person involved in the scam says to take advantage of this really low rate, buy a prepaid gift card, let's say a Visa or Amex card, and then give me the PIN number, essentially, over the phone.
That's what Pastor Chris Robbins says happened to him when he wanted to travel to his grandson's graduation.
I got on my iPhone and I looked up low-cost rental cars. They told me I need to get a prepaid card.
Now he says he's out nearly $400, and the phone number he says he used no longer works.
This has been such a popular scam. It is just blowing up on our helpline right now.
Experts say there are telltale signs that your rental is a scam.
You're definitely going to want to look at the URL. Make sure it matches the company that you're trying to reach. Also, if anyone asks for a prepaid gift card for prepayment, huge red flag, walk away. And finally, any legitimate company is going to take pride in their website. So if you see poor grammar or misspelled words, do not do business with them.
Amazon Prime Day is set to begin June 21st, but these days it's no longer the only game in town for people who want a good deal. A number of major retailers have jumped into the fray with major sales events all around the same time over the next few days. We're talking Target, Walmart, Kohl's, Best Buy. Now, to help us navigate these major sales and how you can get the most out of them, we're going to bring in now Trey Bodge, a smart shopping expert at TrueTrade.com. Trey, I appreciate you joining us. That is an incredible job title that you have. We want to start right away. Why are all of these stores coming out right now, late June, with their big sales events?
Yeah, well, they're coming out swinging against Amazon. So Amazon Prime Day started in 2015 as a celebration of their 20th anniversary, and it's obviously evolved a great deal over the years. It's typically in early July, and then the pandemic turned things around, and it was in October, and now it's in late June for some reason. And lots of other retailers, as you said, are jumping in to compete against Amazon. So it's going to be a very exciting few days.
Competition is the heart of the free market. Trey, I got a lot of questions for you, but let's cut to the chase here. What we all want to know, what are these stores actually offering?
I mean, they are offering millions and millions of sales. Amazon alone is offering more than 2 million sales. Then, of course, Target is offering hundreds of thousands of sales. They're online only, so that's interesting to know about Target. Walmart is promising Black Friday level deals. And so it's going to be across multiple categories. So I'm seeing deals in electronics, toys, kids, pets, and then home items as well, small appliances. So it's kind of anyone's game. The consumers can have a lot of fun early next week with all of these sales.
The image that comes to mind with these big sales is Black Friday in the stores, people scratching and clawing over each other to get that latest new television. Obviously, we're eliminating that with online, but do you think it's going to be the same category of things that are in high demand, toys, electronics, or are there other products that you're expecting to be popular?
This is a little bit different, too, because Black Friday, we're all thinking about gift giving, right? But now this is late June, and we may have birthdays coming up or weddings coming up. So it's great for shoppers to think about those categories. But I would also think about things that you need for your home, those regular things that you order every month, or something you've had your eye on that's a little bit above your budget. Maybe a good time to look at those things as well. So what I would really suggest is that consumers create a list of things that they need, those basics, and then also maybe some gifts that they have coming up, and then tackle the sales in that way.
Beyond what they're looking for and beyond, warming up your clicking finger to make sure you can go as fast as possible, what are ways that people can make sure they're getting the best deals of the day?
Yeah, so there are a couple things that I would suggest. So first of all, if there's something, especially if it's on the pricier side, that you've had your eye on, I would use a tool like slickdeals.net. This is a site that I work with, and they have a feature called the Deal Alert. So this is a way to enter the name of the item. You'll automatically be notified when that item goes on sale and where. So that's a really good thing to start with. And then the other thing that I would say is don't take a sale price at face value. So as you're going online or in the stores, and you find something that's on sale, use a savings tool to see if you can save even more. Like cashback is one of my favorite ways to save this way. There's a site called couponcabin.com, and they have cashback plus maybe extra exclusive discounts that will be unique to them on these days. And so you might find something that's a great sale, but then you could save even more by using these savings tools.
And the sales and the savings are obviously the big draw here for these businesses that are trying to get you to come in. But beyond that, it seems like retailers are offering maybe a little extra in some instances. What can you tell us about that?
Right. So, for instance, leading up to the big sales this weekend until June 19th, Target is offering their gift cards on sale right now. So they're 5% off. And so you could buy a Target gift card right now, and then you save yourself that 5%, and then you could use it to shop during all the big sales. So that's one thing that's, I think, very interesting. And then also Amazon is doing something to support small businesses, which I'm really excited to see. If you shop on Amazon Prime right now and you purchase something with a small business and they have a list on their site, they'll give you a $10 credit to use on Amazon Prime Day if you spend $10 or more. And then another kind of fun hack, and this is from my friends at gigapoints.com, which is a site that helps analyze your credit card spending habits and recommends the best credit card for you. They say that if you have a card that has good grocery benefits, like I have the Amex Gold, I get 4 points per every dollar I spend. If you buy an Amazon gift card at the grocery store, you get those points, and then you can use it to shop on Amazon Prime Day. So these are all ways that you can save even more during these exciting sale days.
You make shopping sound pretty good, Trey. I got to hand it to you. It's good to have a smart shopping expert on. I've always kind of considered myself a dumb shopping expert, so we appreciate your expertise, and hopefully we can save some money here over the next few days. Trey Bodge for TrueTrade.com. Thanks for being here tonight.
Thanks so much for having me.
And still to come tonight, the move by Victoria's Secret to swap out angels, and the big names signing on to their new push to revive the embattled brand.
The most powerful stories of our time, anytime. Nightline.
In Australia, where I live, we've just had the worst spate of fatal shark encounters in a century. As someone who loves sharks and being in the water, why do you think they're coming closer to shores? I want to find out if we can live together without doing each other harm.
Coexisting is really important.
I couldn't agree with you more.
They will come close. Don't make sharp movements.
Should I be nervous? Oh, wow.
The biggest Shark Fest ever begins with the premiere of Shark Beach with Chris Hemsworth, Monday, July 5th at 9 on National Geographic. Friday nights, 9/8 Central. True crime, cinematic, real-life drama, stunning, the unthinkable. Follow the clues. The Hunt. True crime. 2020. Friday nights, 9/8 Central on ABC.
Admit it. These days, what you need to know
seems to change just about every day.
What is it that you really want to know, need to know?
To help you not just get through your day,
but to make the most of it. Feel smarter.
Feel better.
Feel happier.
Well, how about a third hour of Good Morning America in the afternoon?
GMA 3, what you need to know. Lunchtime at 1 Eastern, 12 Central and Pacific on ABC. It's all about you.
I know what happened, and I'm not guilty.
Why the fascination with criminal trials? Figure out what's really out there.
She revealed she had murdered his family.
I know in my heart they did this.
It's the time of suspicion.
The ending's really tough. You don't know whether truth is going to be difficult to find unless you try to find it.
The reality is our country can collapse from within.
You see the white power movement on the march.
You will not replace us!
Klansmen and neo-Nazis, skinheads, it's meant to incite war.
From the KKK to Oklahoma City to Charlottesville, the new documentary event special.
We just need to start talking about race.
Homegrown Hate, The War Among Us.
This is a real wake-up call.
Streaming now on ABC News Live.
And we're tracking several international headlines at this hour. A preliminary report revealed the cause of that deadly collapse of a Mexico City metro line last month was due to, quote, a structural failure. The report also said there were apparently not enough studs, and the concrete poured over them may have been defective. The collapse was responsible for the deaths of 26 people. Hong Kong's National Security Police arrested 5 executives and raided the offices of the pro-democracy newspaper Apple Daily on Thursday morning. The executives were detained on suspicion of colluding with foreign forces under the controversial national security law, which was imposed by Beijing last summer following those mass pro-democracy protests of 2019. The U.S. State Department condemned the arrests and asked for the journalists' immediate release. Rwandan prosecutors have requested a life sentence for the man who inspired the film Hotel Rwanda as he faces terrorism charges, while his family asserts that he faces mistreatment and an unfair trial. He faces charges related to attacks by an armed group inside Rwanda in 2018 and 2019. The 9 charges include the formation of an irregular armed group, membership in a terrorist group, and financing terrorism. Prosecutors are seeking to link him to activities that killed at least 9 people. Now to that Victoria's Secret shakeup. The company announcing a major rebrand, saying goodbye to the famous angels, and bringing in a more diverse group of brand ambassadors. ABC's Ariel Reshef has the story.
Victoria's Secret setting aside its famous angel models and revamping its look this morning, bringing on board some of the world's biggest names in sports and entertainment.
It's a risky move, but they need a bold move, and I think it's a great one.
And while there may be fallen angels, the company is now signing 7 women with unique backgrounds, including soccer star Megan Rapinoe, actress Priyanka Chopra Jonas, and transgender Brazilian model Valentina Sampaio, to appeal to a broader customer base and focus on inclusivity. Rapinoe, a longtime advocate for equal rights and equal pay for women, reportedly saying, "I don't know if Victoria has a secret anymore."
Despite all the wins, I'm still paid less than men who do the same job that I do.
While Chopra has fought for children's rights, acting as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador in recent years.
And let's choose to ensure a better world for our children and their children and the generations to come.
The new campaign, a far cry from images of scantily clad runway models, hoping to turn the company around following a series of scandals, with the company seeing its market share plunge 11% since 2015. Now, Victoria's Secret's new creative director says he was encouraged by his 15-year-old daughter to join the company and consider changing every aspect of the brand. Even storefronts will look different, featuring mannequins of different shapes and sizes.
74% of Americans are more likely to trust someone with an established personal brand. The data supports it, intuition supports it, and I just think it's kind of like the cultural mood supports this. So I think if they follow through on it, and it's not just a gimmick, but they actually move in this direction, I think it could make a huge difference for the brand.
Our thanks to Ariel. And we turn now to a man who made a meteoric rise in the world of marketing and says he helped create those flamin' hot Cheetos that so many of us love. Richard Montañez, author of Flamin' Hot, the incredible true story of one man's rise from janitor to top executive, joins us tonight. Mr. Montañez, thank you very much for your time. Your story's been described as the embodiment of the American dream, the child of immigrant farm workers. You dropped out of school in the 6th grade. When you started your career at Frito-Lay, you said the only job you could get was a janitor. How did you go from there to becoming the first Mexican-American to be promoted to an executive role at PepsiCo?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your show. This in itself is a dream. As you stated, I started off in a migrant farm workers camp, which was more like a community. And, I had every small job you can think of. I worked at a car wash, gardener, and then my neighbors said that they were working at Frito-Lay. Applied, got hired as a janitor, and we got a new CEO. His name was Roger Enrico, very charismatic. Later became such a good friend of mine, very just a great guy, became my mentor. And he sent out a video, and the video was very inspirational. Now, keep in mind, this is during when corporate America was a command and control. I didn't hire you to think. I hired you to do what I tell you to do. So he was one of the first CEOs to introduce empowerment. So I saw that video and he said, act like an owner. And I've got to tell you, it just got a hold of me. I went home and I told my wife, I said, hey, the new CEO said, act like an owner. And my wife, Judy, said, well, go out and act like an owner. I was just totally inspired by his statement. And I love to tell that story because I want people to understand that many times opportunities will come your way. It's your choice on how you receive them, because everyone around me was saying, Richard, he's not talking to us. That's just corporate stuff. But for me, it's like, you know what, this is my one break. And I went from there. I took it from there.
You can't argue with your results, and your rise has been universally celebrated. We do have to address at least some controversy lately. The LA Times published an investigation into the accuracy of your account, that they concluded you weren't solely responsible for the invention of Flamin' Hot Cheetos. We reached out to PepsiCo, and they said that they wanted to clarify some comments that they felt were misconstrued. And they said, quote, we attribute the launch and success of Flamin' Hot Cheetos and other products to several people who worked at PepsiCo, including Richard Montañez. And they wrote that there were different work streams tackling the same product without interacting, that they can't draw a clear link between your contribution and that of others. So given what's been written about all of this, what is your response? I know you stand by your claim that you came up with the idea.
Yes. You know, first of all, I didn't read that article. But I know that article created a lot of confusion for Hot Cheeto fans all over the world. It certainly created confusion for Frito-Lay and PepsiCo. When PepsiCo released the last statement, I was feeling good about it, you know, because I don't know what was going on the other side of the country, because you have to understand my position. I was still on the clock. I wasn't a manager. I wasn't an executive. Nobody told me to go do this. Nobody said, this is your assignment, this is your job. I just took it as the CEO's empowered statement to act like an owner. So everything I did, we did it in my kitchen. And I have to remind people, you know, the people that are speaking against the story, they weren't in the kitchen with me. And I cannot and I will not ever allow anyone to dictate to me what I did or what I didn't do. So I was satisfied with what PepsiCo said. You know, I appreciate the company. I was there 42 years, you know, so I learned an awful lot of stuff there. So very thankful for them, you know, trying to, you know, clarify everything.
Mm-hmm. And even beyond the creation, your career was more than the creation of Flamin' Hot Cheetos, to be clear. You made it all the way up to marketing executive, to the point that now your life story is the subject of a movie being directed by Eva Longoria. Coming from where you came from, what impact would this story have had on you as a young person growing up in your circumstances to see somebody make it up as high as you did?
I think it's, first of all, it's unbelievable that a movie's being made about yours truly. But I think, you know, had I would have, you know, heard something like that, because, you know, keep in mind, when I grew up, I was a child during the civil rights movement of the 60s. So there wasn't a whole lot of individuals that looked like me, talk like me, and act like me. So that's the one thing that I'm excited about, that I really believe that my book and my story, it's first of all, it's the American dream. I'm an American. I love this country. I think there's opportunity for everyone. I also believe that my story is a story of unity. And I believe if you look at, you know, what I wrote, and when you see the movie, it's about a brown man working with a white male, the CEO and other executives. And my mentor was an African-American named Julius C. McGee. So you have two men of color working with a white man to, you know, bring everybody together, unity, and to help change Frito-Lay. So that's what the story's all about. You know, how does a white male from the highest level come down to the lowest level and work with a Mexican to do these things? So that's the inspiration in it. And I hope that other leaders will see that, you know what, you can do the same thing. You know, you have a janitor waiting to bust out. You have a janitor that probably has $1 billion idea. Your job is to let him loose.
You know, we just this week lost a photographer here at ABC News who started in the mailroom in our company and climbed his way up in the same fashion that you did. And those words ring through here as well. Richard Montañez, we thank you for your time. Flamin' Hot The incredible true story of one man's rise from janitor to top executive is available wherever books are sold. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And that's our show for tonight. Stay tuned to ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. I'm Trevor Alden for Lindsay Davis. Thanks for streaming with us.